Good morning. My name is Nori Contractor, and I am here to speak to you today about Universidad Central del Este. We go by the call letters of UCE, UCE. So you'll hear me referring to that throughout the presentation. I'm here today to cover with you some important information about becoming a medical doctor in less than 6 years. You heard me correctly, less than 6 years. Straight out of high school, you have the opportunity at becoming a medical doctor and practicing medicine in the United States. I'm going to share with you a PowerPoint presentation that'll be very informative, and at the end of the presentation, I'm also going to allow for questions and answers, but if you feel the need to ask me anything throughout the presentation, you're welcome to. I know that you are all experts at this, and you know that we have a live video chat going on, so I urge you to jump in at any given time. Again, I want to welcome you. My name is Nori Contractor. I am with the International Affairs Department of Universidad Central del Este, UCE, and we are in the Dominican Republic. Beautiful, beautiful place. So let's get started here. I'm going to be covering everything today, including the history of the university, the actual School of Medicine, the medicine program itself, the accreditations that we have, which is very important for you to know and understand about before making a decision, the admissions requirements, the financial aid that's available, because we do have federal financial aid available, and the housing facilities and why you would want to choose UCE. Again, jump in at any time. Let's see, I already have somebody jumping in actually, so I have Jay asking me a question. Is UCE med-track reputable? I guess what you mean, Jay, is if our actual medical track is reputable. Yes, it absolutely is, Jay, and I'm going to cover with you some statistics that will help you understand why we have done what we've done for 40 years and why we've been very successful. We have over 9,000 School of Medicine graduates. I see that you're now asking me what is our website. I'll be happy to share that with you now. It is www.uce.edu.do. Again, www.uce.edu.do. Please go in the website and you'll see plenty of information. We do have a place on our website where the information, you can ask for it in English as well for the medical school. Okay, I'm going to jump right into the presentation, and like I started to say, we are Universidad Central del Este. We were established in 1970 by an initiative of Dr. Jose A. Hazim Azar, who was the founder of the university. As you can imagine, in 1970, opening a university of this magnitude and in the area of the Caribbean that we are in was really a milestone marker, and it gave a lot of hope to the youth of the eastern region of the country. But everything didn't stop there. I mean, we have become world known. We have students from many, many, many countries of the world. As a matter of fact, about 40% of our population is international. And you know, due to the prestige that we acquired throughout the 40 years, we are known around the world. We are taking benefit of that, and our students are enjoying that as well. The School of Medicine itself was founded in 1971. We have over 9,000 doctors that have graduated from UCE. Myself, I go all over the eastern part of the country here in the United States doing presentations for UCE, and it's always wonderful to be at a booth and see someone come up. I was in Fort Lauderdale a couple of weeks ago doing the NACAC conference for students, and I had a cardiologist graduate from UCE who came over and was super excited to see that we were there, and now he was, you know, looking for a university for his own child. And it was very exciting to have the possibility of a medical doctor who has a practice here in South Florida that is a graduate, and now his child is looking into studying abroad as well. So like I mentioned before, 40% of our population is from abroad, and the reason for this is that we have a medical program that's second to none, And when I talk more about the benefits of coming to study in the Dominican Republic, you'll see what I mean. Jay, I like your enthusiasm. I see that you're still with us, and you want to know if you have to learn Spanish. Well, that's a really great question, and I'm glad you're asking that early on into the presentation. I usually try to talk about that early on because it is important. Our classes are in Spanish. However, we also have a program where we are going to be training you to pass the medical boards in the United States. That program is completely in English. So our best explanation that I can give you for the best type of student that we can have is a student that's either already bilingual or who is interested in becoming bilingual, because we do have a Spanish immersion class. Going back to the little story I was telling you a moment ago with the cardiologist who practices here in South Florida. He was a non-Spanish speaking person when he arrived at the university. He is from this country. He's completely American, and he did not speak Spanish. And the fact is that he became bilingual. You have this incredible opportunity to become bilingual while you're studying medicine. And one of the things that he shared with me, and he was at my booth, and I had students and prospective students and parents there getting information. One of the things that he said to me is, thanks to this opportunity that UCE gave me, I now can communicate with my patients in Spanish, and I am fully bilingual. So not only did we make him a successful medical doctor, but he also was now able to speak a second language. Currently, the School of Medicine has about 2,600 odd students currently enrolled in the program, and this number is growing as we speak. I've been telling you that we are in the Dominican Republic, but let me tell you a little bit about exactly where we are in the Dominican Republic. We are in a city called San Pedro de Macorís, and we are about, I would say, 45 minutes to 1 hour east of Santo Domingo, which is the capital of the Dominican Republic. As you can see on the screen, you see the map there, but you see the beautiful palm trees and the beautiful beaches. Well, this is exactly what our country is all about, and this is where the school is. And the university affords students not only an incredible opportunity for an incredible education. We're going to talk a lot of detail about the education because this is what's really important. But what could be better than getting a fantastic education in a beautiful paradise island? The Dominican Republic offers some great activities. The summer life is almost year-round. We have a lot of students who are surfers and who enjoy the beaches, and we have a lot of activities in the campus that are a result of the wonderful paradise in which we live. We, as a university, have an agreement for a housing facility with a nearby hotel. It's about 10 minutes from the university. Depending on the amount of students that are enrolled at any given time, going back and forth with the university and the facility, the housing facility, we offer a transportation, a bus transportation, but again, it's about 10 minutes from the university. It has a meal plan that's optional, and it provides housekeeping facilities because this is a hotel. So you have a swimming pool and the use of the beautiful facilities of the hotel, and you get housekeeping. So it's a dorm plus plus. This is, again, one of the arrangements that we have with the housing. Since the university is really in a university town, the town itself is very involved with the university, and there are numerous beautiful apartments around town, all of which make us aware of their open facilities, whether they have a one-bedroom, a two-bedroom, or other type of facility that's available for rent. And what we try to do is we help our students with telling you who else is looking for housing, and through that process, what we do is try to kind of team you up with a roommate, if you will, So if someone doesn't want to live in a housing facility that's a room, a private room with its own private bathroom and its own housekeeping availability, and you want to live in a more traditional apartment, there are also many opportunities for that throughout the town, and we walk you through that process and help you in every way we can with getting the right facility, housing facility, for you to have your stay during the time you're studying. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that one of the things that was very, very important was the types of accreditation that your university that you consider studying at has. And one of the most important things I can tell you is that at UCE, we are accredited by the National Committee on Foreign Medical Education and Accreditation. And exactly, you might say, well, what does this mean to me? Well, what this means to you is that basically our program has been reviewed by this prestigious accrediting body, and they have determined that our not only is our curriculum up to par, but that our diploma, our degree that the student will be granted is up to par with any degree in the United States, and that by this accreditation, by means of this accreditation, you are able to come back to the United States and take the USMLE, which stands for United States Medical Licensing Exam. What does this mean? You know that the study of medicine is a regulated field in the United States, which means that you must be licensed to actually practice medicine. So it's wonderful if you go to a school anywhere in the world, and even here in the States, and you have your diploma that says that you have a doctorate in medicine. However, to actually practice medicine in the United States, you will have to get licensed. I mentioned very briefly earlier that our perfect student is bilingual in that they have to understand English because we have a program that we offer free of cost. And in many universities, this is, again, an added cost, and for students attending UCE, this is completely included in your tuition. And basically, this program, what it does is it prepares a student to pass the United States Medical Licensing Exam. Now, this is really important because, like I said, you can graduate from any university. However, if you graduate and you don't pass the exam to practice medicine in the United States, then we have a problem. So, you know, this is one of the things that we do. We prepare you to pass this exam. We have a very, very high pass rate that I'll get into a little bit further. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why we have a high pass rate and why our program is different than the programs in the United States. A lot has to do with the structure itself of the curriculum. In the United States, you know that you would have to go to a pre-medical program and obtain a bachelor's degree before entering medical school. With UCE, the student comes directly to us from high school. You heard me correctly. You come directly from high school, and you will do 4 semesters at the university, which will cover all of your pre-med program. Jay is asking me, and I'm going to interrupt for a second, that should he be proficient in Spanish even before he attends. Really, Jay, the answer to that would be no. We have students from all over the world. Recently, I was at the university campus visiting, and there were 2 students from Korea, and they came to us speaking absolutely no Spanish. And throughout the process that we have to help the students learn Spanish, and since you are immersed, you know, completely in the Spanish community, the learning process is very, very quick. I don't know, particularly your age group, but what I can tell you is that in most of our students, because of the fact that they do come directly from high school, they are able to learn Spanish very, very quickly. I'm having a little problem with the video here. I'm going to take a moment to correct the problem, see if I can. So sorry about that. The sun is coming into my lovely window in my office in South Florida, so I apologize for that. Let's make some adjustments here and see how we can get the shadow that you see out a little bit better, at least it's not in my face the entire time. So yeah, as far as the Spanish is concerned, you'll really see um, how fast you can learn Spanish and be part of a community where everyone is going to make sure that you are becoming proficient, because it is in our best interest for you to do well in all of the classes and pass all of your exams. So you'll see that the community itself is extremely helpful. You're right. I have a comment from Jay who's telling me that the Dominican Republic looks sunny. Is it hot there? Well, it's a Caribbean country. The difference between the kind of hot that we might experience in a place here in the States that is not a tropical island is that we're not, we are in the Dominican Republic. We are near the ocean, right on the ocean, and we have all the tropical breezes. Whereas here, I can tell you myself, I'm almost a native South Floridian. When I've traveled to Orlando, I feel like I'm going to suffocate because there's no absolute breeze. They're in the center of the state. In San Pedro, we're so close to the ocean, and the university itself is so close to the ocean. There's always a tropical breeze. Many people don't even use any air conditioning. They're accustomed to the tropical breezes. However, the university is a modern facility. You can take a tour of the university at any point in time. We can arrange for a visit and a complete tour with all of the departments guiding you through, and you can see that it's a beautiful facility, air conditioned, and just absolutely state of the art. So I was telling you a little bit about our academic structure, and I want to make sure that I cover that. So I mentioned that you can come straight out of high school, and that there are 4 semesters of the pre-medical program, and then you go directly into the 9 semesters which make up the actual medical program, hands-on medical program. And I want to really stop for a moment there and really explain to you the difference. In the Dominican Republic, we are ruled by a different set of laws, and our medical students, are actually able to practice medicine. We, the university, own a medical facility, a hospital, and this allows us for our students to actually be hands-on with patients, which makes an incredible difference when you come back to the United States and you're ready to do your residency and you're ready to do the medical exam for the license. This makes just a huge difference. I can't stress that enough. So again, you can finish your career in less than 6 years, straight out of high school, right? Doing all of your pre-meds and everything with UCE. Here is a little slide showing you a little bit about our pre-medical program and what each semester is all about. We have everything, included in, biology and the, analysis, mathematical analysis and the history of medicine, and of course, an orientation to the university itself, and you're going to have physics, and you're going to have to take your statistics and everything that has to do with the pre-medical part of the program. And then we go on to the other 9 semesters that I was mentioning, which is the actual medicine program, and then the 3 semesters of the actual clerkship. And this is when you get a lot of hands-on training. I urge you to compare this program to any program in a university here in the United States, and you'll see that you will not have the same opportunities afforded to you with regard to hands-on and to being able to really have that interaction with patients that you'll be able to have in the Dominican Republic at UCE. Let's talk a little bit about our admissions process. So a typical student that's coming to us from high school, here in the United States, most high schools end their academic year in either the month of May or June. I know here in South Florida they graduate in early June. So that student would be applying immediately, even before finishing the senior year. We would start the actual process, and we would be holding you by the hand with that process. That's what myself and my team here in South Florida are all about, so that you can feel that you have someone that you can reach out to. I'm going to give you my direct cell number at the end of the presentation, along with my email address. And you'll see that we will walk you through the entire process until you're ready to actually either go visit the campus, or you're ready to go and start your first semester. So we work on a 3-semester calendar year, and those semesters are made up of the first semester being January to April, the next semester being May to August, and the next one being September to December. So like I mentioned, let's say that you were a high school student and you're graduating in either May or June. What that would mean is that you would be starting our fall semester, which starts in September. I have a question from Mansour. Thank you, Mansour, for being with us today, and I appreciate all the questions. He wants to know what is the tuition fee per year. I'm going to take a moment before I answer your question, Mansour, but I am going to quickly tell you that our entire program for the 5.5 years is less than most medical schools in the United States are for just 1 year. So I'm gonna get into the actual costs in just a moment. I beg your patience with me. So we're talking about the admissions requirements a little bit, because it's really not a complicated equation at all. At UCE, we have an application, admissions application that's online. I can also mail one to you, so you can see it and be prepared before submitting the online one, or you can download it online as well. For entering into our free medical program, we need for you to come out of high school with a GPA of 2.5 or better. So this is just the GPA that has to do with your regular classes. Your weighted GPA. We don't take into consideration any specialty classes or anything like this. We want the core classes, the GPA that you received in your core classes. Once you finish those 4 semesters with us during your pre-med, we want you to come out of that and go into the actual medical program with a 3.0 or better. We have absolutely no problem with our students achieving this. This is very doable. We will guide you and help you every step of the way, and including, if need be, we have tutoring services. So going back to the admissions requirement, you have the application. I'm telling you about your GPA. I'm going to need a copy of your original birth certificate. I need the high school transcripts, which we'll talk a little bit more about, because there is a process by which we have to get those certified by a process called an apostille that I'll explain a little bit more about. And I need a health certificate, which is basically just a certificate that says that you are in general good health, including vaccines. I'm going to stop for a moment and answer a question from Jay. Jay tells me that he spent a year in college, but he would like to apply as, I just have to click here, as a freshman. Well, here's what happens, Jay, and that's a very good question. If you have any credits whatsoever that we can apply toward the degree, then of course we would want to consider those credits for you. And the maximum amount of credit that we can give you for those credits, pardon the pun, is we can give you up to 49% of the entire program, of the entire curriculum. And what I mean by that is that sometimes we have students that have actually gone to school and actually gotten bachelor's degree and so on. So the most we can do is give you 49% credit. So you tell me you graduated in 2009, and you cannot get a hold of a good conduct certificate. How is that? I'm not understanding your question. Please elaborate for me, and I'll be happy to. Because a good conduct certificate is basically, we will need, you can go to the local police station, and you can get a certificate from the police stating that you are not a criminal, you don't have any outstanding criminal offenses, against you. This is very important because later, since this is a regulated field and you have to pass an exam with the licensing board, they will require that the person applying for the license is not a felon. This is why we ask for this up front. So if you can elaborate a little bit more on what you were mentioning, I'd be happy to be able to answer that a little better. If not, if you want a more individualized answer, I can offer you my email and my cell number at the end of the presentation, and then we can go from there. Again, on the admissions requirements, we'll need 4 pictures, or 2 by 2. We're going to need a copy of your passport, 2 letters of recommendation. Now, this is very easy. It can be from a clergy member, like a pastor, a rabbi, somewhere along those lines. It can be from a counselor, a teacher, the director of a college or university, your high school principal, anyone along those lines. So let's see. So Jay here asks me that he would like to experience UCE fully in case he gets in. I wouldn't want any credits transferred. Okay, that's the answer. I gave you the answer about the good conduct. Okay, good conduct, yes, it's really a kind of a funny way of saying that. What we really mean is that your record is clean. So that would work. I have a hello from a young person by the name of Ariel. Hello, Ariel. I don't see any questions from you, but you're welcome to ask. I have someone else asking here, Wyatt, asking me, may I attend this school to become a state trooper or state park ranger? Wyatt, that's a beautiful question. And although, yeah, it would be a beautiful facility to become one of those 2 things, UCE is a full university. If you go to my website, which I mentioned earlier, which is www.uce.edu.do, you'll see that we have a full range, of academic offerings. However, some things are not really practical for a student who wants to come back to the United States and practice. For example, the law school. It's Dominican law. You will not be learning American law, therefore that might be an issue. I'm here today specifically to talk about the medical school because we really believe that this is one of the best programmatic offerings that we can apply in the United States. First of all, medicine is a universal field. Second of all, we prepare our students for the United States medical licensing exam, and that's what our goal really is. So, Wyatt, as much as we'd love to have you, if you want to consider a career in the medical field, we'd love that. But as far as state trooper, we don't have any such program because we are an international university. We're not based here in the United States. Okay, I have a question from Ariel, who tells me that they are a junior at Central High School in San Angelo, Texas, and they're not sure if they want to go to college yet. Any ideas of what they can do? That's such a wonderful question, Ariel, and I have spent 30 years of my life in education in one aspect or another. And one of the things that I find is a big challenge here in the United States to most of the high school systems is that as much as we do such a wonderful job, we also sometimes are not able to afford enough opportunities for students to really know about the different fields. One of the things that I can tell you is that the Department of Education, so that would be at edu.gov for gov, has some incredible information about different careers. Also, the College Board has great information about different careers. And the other really great suggestion I can give you is what you may want to do is think about the kinds of things that make you happy, make you feel good, and see what kinds of fields are involved with those type of things that make you feel good, and shadow someone. As an example, if you're thinking of a career in medicine, and you have an opportunity to either volunteer at a local hospital or visit your local clinic or private physician and spend a day, kind of observing what goes on, this could be a great way for you to see if you're interested. Another great suggestion I can give you is the Dominican Republic is always a great place for a great vacation. you're welcome to arrange with us a visit to the university and at the same time spend some nice time in the Dominican Republic. And you can see our facilities, you can see our medical labs, you can see our hospital and see if you have an interest in studying medicine. So those are some of the suggestions. And at the end of the presentation, when I give you my email, you're welcome to email me, and I will try to send you some more information on that as well. So I have another question here that tells me, do you help graduates after college? I mean, passing the exam is a great thing. Getting a job is a different story. That's a fantastic observation. Schools as a whole, and especially schools that hold accreditations of an international, accrediting body, are really guided by a very strict set of guidelines. And one of the things that we pride ourselves in is not only in the amount of students that pass the exam, because if you're licensed, then you can practice, but we also pride ourselves in the amount of graduates that we have, or alumni that we have, that hold their own private practice. Here in South Florida, I can tell you on a personal level, I happen to have been fortunate throughout the many years that I've lived here in this community to have had some great doctors and great dentists as well, because we have an incredible dental school. And most of my physicians have been UCE graduates. So yes, we do have placement facilities where we help you as an alumni. Nothing is guaranteed. I mean, no university, whether in the United States or anywhere else, can guarantee any student that they will be employed, but we do offer placement services. What does that mean to you? It means that we're going to help you, put a good resume together. We're going to help you schedule some interviews, and we're going to certainly help you through that process. Sometimes even just giving you the availability of doing like mock interviews and things like that that can help you get employed is an important factor. So thank you for the question, Jay. That's a very good question. And let's see, I want to make sure that I covered everything on our admissions requirements. So we went over everything that's up on the screen. And then we have an admission fee payment of $350 US that you would have to pay with that application. So the process itself is very easy. Now, I had someone a little while back talking to me about the cost of the school. So I want to take this opportunity to be able to answer that in more detail. And like I mentioned earlier, our university for the entire 5.5 years is less than one academic year here at the United States, at any medical school here in the United States. Jay tells me that he wasn't able to hear me when I mentioned the application fee, and I hope our video is doing well. Maybe I need to have someone check our video. I hope our video is doing well. Let me write a quick message here. Let me check audio. And let's see that they verify that our video and audio are doing well. Again, that application fee is $350 US dollars, and that goes with the application packet. That's something that we would walk you through the entire process before you submit. So our tuition, the pre-med is broken down into semesters, and it's a total of 1 year and 4 months, and each semester is $3,000 US. Okay. And our medical school, which are the other semesters, which is 4 years, are $4,500 per semester. And what does that mean? Well, if you do all the math and in its totality, the entire tuition for becoming a medical doctor in 5.5 years is $66,500. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but when you consider an example, the other day I went into one of the Florida state schools that has a school of medicine. An average year, one academic year, in tuition and fees alone is $48,000. When you look at our tuition and fees for the entire program of 5.5 years at $66,500, it's really a very low amount. Now let's talk about the possibility of financing that cost. There are many ways of doing it. We do take checks and or cashier's checks, and of course we take cash. But the idea is to help you find the money if you don't have it. And since we are eligible for financial aid at the federal level, this is what I would encourage every student to do. Once you're a senior, you know that one of the things that you want to do is in your senior year, right after your parents do their income tax return, or if you're not a senior in high school and you're already an independent student, immediately in January, once you are able to, and before the April 15th deadline with the IRS, you want to file your income tax return. And if you don't do that, you can always file the FAFSA from an estimated income tax return, and we can help you through that process as well. So what would you do? You would go in to apply for the FAFSA, which is at www.fafsa.ed.gov, and this is what you would need to do to know entirely if you're eligible for student loans or not. And you would, in there, you have a place in the application process to put down a school code for which you want this information to go to. And this is very important because if you're applying to UCE, one of the things that you need to do is you need to provide the school code on this application. And our school code is G as in goat 10977. Again, that's G10977. And once you do this, what will happen is the FAFSA will calculate your eligibility, and they will send us a response by which then we can send you and tell you, basically this is what you are eligible for, and this is what we can do for you. So within that process, you will be able to apply for a Stafford loan or a direct student loan. And you'll also be able, if and when you're an undergraduate student, your parents can apply for a PLUS loan, which is a parent loan basically. And once you are a grad, or if you're coming in already as a grad into the graduate school, you can apply for a grad PLUS loan. And then of course, there's always the private loans that are available. And again, we will walk you through every step of this process. You can complete the application online. You can do the master promissory note, which is the MPN, and you need to do an entrance interview, which is a very simple set of questions and answers, basically where you attest to the fact that you understand that these are loans that you are entering into and that they are not scholarships. And while we're on the subject of scholarships, I like to bring up an interesting fact that I always talk about when I do presentations in person. Some people come up to me and say, well, but you're not eligible, your school is not eligible for a Pell Grant or a federal scholarship or grant money. Well, what I can tell you about that is that you want to make sure that you compare apples and apples. If you're going to a medical school where the tuition and fees are $48,000 in one academic year, and then you're coming to UCE, where the tuition and fees in one academic year is a little over $12,000, really, even if you got that Pell Grant or that federal, scholarship or grant of any kind, and just to put a number here for the sake of this conversation, even if you got something along the lines of a grant that would be $4,000 to $5,000, because I know that currently the maximum Pell Grant is $4,500. What good is that if your tuition that you're left with is still well over $44,000 just for that 1 year? And with UCE, your tuition for the 1 year is $12,500. So even not getting a Pell Grant and not getting a scholarship, you're still way ahead of the game, almost by 4 times in savings. And I hope that's making sense to you, but if it isn't, please write in or send me a message and I'll be happy to answer that for you. So as far as financial aid is concerned, the requirements to apply for U.S. financial aid are the same for us as they would be for um, any other university. You have to either be a citizen or resident. You have to be going to school at least half time, and you have to have a valid Social Security number. If you are a male, you have to be registered in the Selective Service. You cannot currently be in default with any student loan that you had from the past, and you have to maintain satisfactory academic progress. So this holds true for UCE students or for any other student seeking federal financial aid. So Jay says that what's up with the $10,000 USD scholarship in our website? No, let me not confuse you, Jay. What I was referring to was scholarships that you could obtain from sources here in the United States. Through the FAFSA, when you do the FAFSA, if you're doing it for multiple schools, you can be applying for a school that's in the United States, and that school may be able to offer you a scholarship that is from federal money. We cannot accept scholarships from federal funds. We can only accept student loans. The scholarship that you're referring to is our own institutional scholarship that we do have. So not only do you have the possibility of obtaining a federal loan and coming to a school where the tuition is 4 times, if not 5, less than an American school, but we also have our own institutional programs that we offer from time to time, and we hope you take advantage of that. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so we mentioned earlier that you are going to have some choices that you're going to be making up ahead, and as you get closer to making that choice, you want to ask yourself, why would I be choosing UCE? Well, first of all, the fact that you can start right out of high school and not have to go through the expense or the time of actually doing your pre-med somewhere else is an incredible advantage. If you graduate in May or June, you're going to come to UCE and you're going to start immediately in the fall semester in September, and you're already going to be doing your pre-medical program. You know, one of the things that I know in being in education for about 30 years here in the United States is that a lot of times in traditional education here, we lose our students a lot because of these other, you know, what do I want to say, classes and courses and, you know, electives that you can take. Whereas with UCE, you're going to go straight into the career choice that you've made, and immediately in your first semester, you're going to be, you know, just immersed in everything that has to do with medicine. So the excitement starts from the very beginning, and we don't lose students as a result of, you know, they're not on track with their career or anything like that. The other advantage of choosing UCE is that you're going to have hands-on experience. Like I said before, this is not something that you're going to find very typical in an American university when it comes to medicine. I know that as much as, you know, many schools do a fantastic job, because of the laws of this country, you're not allowed to do much other than watch. With us, you will be hands-on, of course, with supervision, but you will be, you know, hands-on. Why choose UCE? You also want to consider the affordable cost of attendance. There was an interesting segment the other day in the news, and I know that it was on the Today Show, talking about the fact that student loans hit an all-time high in this country. And it's really a scary fact that students are graduating with so much debt. By finding a university that has the right program and that can put you to practice medicine in less than 6 years, and where the cost of attendance is extremely affordable, you're already going to graduate with a tremendous advantage over many, many other people that want to do the exact same thing that you want to do. Again, another advantage is the actual length of the career. You know, if you go to undergraduate school and then you go to medical school in a traditional school here in the United States, you'd be going to school for at least 8 years. At least 8 years. And that is if you find a school where you're able to really, you know, stay up to par, you know, with the classes, and that all the classes that you need every semester are being offered. You know, with UCE, we have a program that's been developed and that, you know, basically is very, very structured. So semester to semester, you'll know exactly what you're doing. It's not a pick and choose. we've designed a program that all you have to do is follow the program, and the length of your career is going to be less than 6 years. So I really urge you to look at that. And then the fact that we have financial aid available. I mean, this is something that a lot of foreign schools cannot offer you. Since we have been around for over 40 years and we have put out so many graduates in the medical field, like I mentioned earlier, over 9,000 medical doctors, this is something that you really want to take advantage of. So I hope that I've answered and covered the majority of the questions. This would be a good moment. We have a few minutes left on our presentation for any other questions that anyone may want to send in. But I know that we have a lot of information on our website, which unfortunately, oh yes, there it is at the bottom. There it is. We've posted there for you, the uce.edu.do. My email, my direct email, is posted there for you as well. Nori Contractor, that's my last name, at uce.edu.do, and my direct cell number is there for you as well. And Jay wants to know, how does he start the application process? Well, I think, Jay, the best thing we can do is at least have a quick phone conversation. So I'd be happy to accept a call from you right after this presentation. I'm certainly available. The other thing I can tell you that can help you, quickly get started is, of course, going on to our website and entering the information on the application itself. And like I mentioned earlier, you can download it if you want to see the kinds of questions that we're going to ask you so you can be prepared. Or you can go directly to the live application online and start entering. And of course, I can always mail you an application if that's what you wish, and we can start that communication. Most of the time, like I said, most of our students, one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is helping them through the process, especially doing the FAFSA and doing everything else that you'll need. So my students and I become very, very close, and we'll end up speaking a few times before you're actually at the university. So that's one of the best advice I can give you. I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to cover a couple of questions that I think are of interest to everyone. Someone asked before this presentation that if a student needed a student visa, and yes, all students apply for a visa. And what this does is allows you to be in the country for longer periods of time rather than just a tourist visa. And it also allows you to purchase airline tickets that can be bought on a one-way basis, because if you are on a tourist visa, you're not allowed to do that. And also, you pay a very small immigration tax when you come in, and as a student, it's a much lower tax. I mentioned earlier a little bit about the process that's called the AYA, apostille. So that's spelled H-A-Y-A, apostille, A-P-O-S-T-I-L-L-E. And this is basically a process where there is an international treaty between many countries and universities such as UCE. And this treaty basically allows us to validate and legalize documents that are used in this country for a basis of admission. So one of the things that I will have to help you with, and especially you, Jay, if you're interested in starting right away, and we're still in time for the May semester, is I would have to take your high school diploma and other documents and enter it through the process of getting the apostille for you. Someone also asked earlier if we are an accredited medical school. Again, I want to urge you to find out about this information because this is really important. We are accredited by the National Committee on Foreign Medical Education and Accreditation. And what this basically means for you, and this is extremely important, is that you can use your diploma to immediately apply to sit for the United States medical licensing exam. I'm being asked if I accept fax documents. Some documents I can accept copies of, others will be originals. So we will help you through the process so that you can have a mailing address here locally in the United States. And also, if you're interested in sending something overnight or certified mail, I would give you that information as well. The kinds of documents that I'll need to do the apostille for will be any university transcript that anyone wants certified, high school transcript, and a high school diploma. So that's a fairly easy process. Jay asked me earlier, do we have federal work-study program? And the answer to that is no. Let's see, is the admissions, although not too impossible, remain selective? Well, we definitely have an admissions committee that meets once a month to decide, from the applicants that we receive, who is a good candidate. What I can tell you is that, we look for a diversified student body. Obviously, we look for academically strong students and students that, have a high interest in a medical program. And this is a good question, Jay, and I'm glad you're asking me this. What are the paying options for international students? Again, the FAFSA is not purely for U.S. students. Again, let me reiterate that, because I think either I've confused you or somewhere along the line the information has gotten confusing. The FAFSA is the federal application for free student aid, and basically this is open to all United States residents or citizens, where you will apply and the federal government will let you know what you're eligible for. When you do the FAFSA and you put in UCE's school code, which is G10977, basically this allows the FAFSA to tell us how much you are eligible for. What we will receive from that will be your federal loans that you're eligible for. We cannot give you scholarships. How you qualify for the different scholarships that UCE has is you apply for them based on the criteria. At any given time, we do offer different scholarships, and you will see those on our website. And also, as you're dealing with myself or anyone on my team, we will tell you anything that's available, and we will certainly want to help you qualify for any scholarship that can help you, pay for the fees. But to answer your question, how do you pay for the fees? We do accept, of course, cash, and we accept cashier's check or personal check. So this is the form of payment, and of course money orders as well. These are forms of payments that we can take from you in the time that it takes to get your federal loans. Okay, so if you are a student who's not a U.S. citizen or resident and you're not eligible for the FAFSA, the interesting thing about UCE is that we do not charge anything extra for you as an international student. Our fees are the same for every student coming from any country, which is really an incredible advantage. So what you want to do is tell us what works best for you, and we will help you through the process. There are some fees up front, which I mentioned earlier, which is the $350 for you to apply, and that comes in with your application fee. Then there's a small insurance fee that you have to pay, and then part of your first semester has to be taken care of. But again, we can do this in a number of ways, but this is something that we can certainly help you with, and help you decide what is the best thing for you. So I hope I've answered most of your questions, and if I didn't, please reach out to me on the personal email or on my cell. You're welcome to use any or both. I want to take the last few moments to make sure that I leave you with some thoughts that I think are important for you, because you will be making some important decisions, coming up. Again, what are the things that are going to set UCE apart from any other university? You are going to be able to come in directly into the pre-medical program. This is an incredible advantage. You're not going to spend 4 years somewhere else and adapting to one kind of, living facility or one kind of, style of university to then go to another. You're going to do everything with us, A to Z, the entire enchilada. You're going to do everything with us. So you're going to come directly from high school or from the point of entry if you have transcripts from before. The other incredible advantage is the cost. You cannot find, not even a state university, and state versus private, they are the lowest. You're not going to find a university in the United States that has lower academic costs and tuition and fees. And the cost of living itself is incredibly low in the Dominican Republic. Also, the fact that we have a zero-cost program included in the tuition and fees that is going to prepare you for the United States medical licensing exam. This is a self-paced program. It's an incredible program developed by a medical doctor, and we have worked closely with this doctor to develop this program exclusively for UCE students. And this is allowing us to have a very, very high passing rate with the United States medical licensing exam. At any point in time that you need any information, you're going to have a rep here in the United States that can speak to you over the phone. We can give you a number to call that will not be of any cost to you. We can call you back, and you can be, in touch with us on a one-on-one basis. I urge you to get all this information, get all these facts, and make a decision that's not going to put you into debt, and that's not going to allow you to take so many years to be away in medical school. You can do this entire thing in less than 6 years. You do the math. You're an average high school student graduating at the age of 18. You can get out of medical school and you are going to be 23 and a half, 24 years old, and you're going to be ready to practice medicine in the United States. I look forward to hearing from all of you. I look forward to any questions that you may have that we didn't answer. We're here to help you. We're certainly here to help you make the right decision and become a medical doctor in less than 6 years. Good luck to you and your decision.